I'm back, February Fitness Month Daily Tip number 4. We're going to talk about planes of motion. There are 3 planes of motion when it comes to exercise and moving the body. You've got the sagittal plane, which if you picture the body getting separated from left to right, a line right down the center. Then you've got the frontal plane, which separates the body from front to back. And then you've got the transverse plane, which separates the body from top to bottom. You can do different combinations of planes to make your exercises more effective, to get more fat burning because you're working more muscles, and it's going to definitely get you a lot further in your workout than just getting on a machine, because machines aren't bad, but the problem is most machines are only working one range of motion, so you're missing out on a lot of potential for working more muscles on that movement. So let's get started. We're going to start with each plane. I'm going to show you an exercise in that plane, and then we'll look at combining the different planes of motion. So sagittal, again, remember that separates the body from left to right. So here's a sagittal plane exercise right here, an up and down type motion, okay? To give you an idea what that looks like. Now frontal plane separates the body from front to back. So here's a frontal plane exercise, lateral raises, okay? Now we want to look at a transverse plane type movement. So that's going to be rotational, separating the body from top to bottom. So it's coming right here. You got rotations. So that's your most basic rotation right here, working the transverse plane. Well, let's say we wanted to add the sagittal plane and make it transverse plane. So we'll do a reverse alternating lunge here with a rotation. So the lunge is working that sagittal plane, separating the body from left to right, and the rotation is working that transverse plane, the rotations here, okay, side to side. So what if we wanted to maybe add 2 different planes into our push-up? So we get down, normal push-up position. We've got 2 dumbbells here. You're going to go down your push-up, that sagittal plane. As you come up, get a rotation. Extend the dumbbell straight up. These are called T push-ups. Down, hit the other side. Okay? So you've got 2 different planes of motion working there. Okay? Now, maybe you want to take a leg exercise here and combine it with an upper body again. So taking the squat and stepping out laterally, which is on the frontal plane, separating the body from front to back. Okay? So here, right here, we can add the rotation in. If we want to get the transverse plane here, or if we want to work on that frontal plane with the sagittal plane, we can step out with the front lift, okay? So what if we wanted to work all 3 planes of motion? So we'll take the sagittal plane with the reverse lunge, and then we'll incorporate the frontal plane here with a lateral raise, and we'll incorporate the transverse plane with the rotation. So let's see what that looks like. Right here, you've got all 3 planes working together. Got a lot of different muscles contracting here to produce that movement, okay? Let's take one more example of working the 3 different planes of motion. So, let's say you want to start off here with a transverse plane motion. So you can bring it across here. And then you want to go straight up, which would be a sagittal plane. And then let's say you want to lean, come over, that would be frontal plane, okay? And you can just keep repeating that motion. Bring it down, transverse, pull it up. Right there, we've got a frontal plane, or excuse me, a sagittal plane, and then lean it over. We've got a frontal plane, and then pull it back down. And you can get 1 set on each side, working those 3 different planes of motion, incorporate all into the same movement sequence to give you a very effective exercise. So especially if you have limited time, you can get a lot done with just working those different planes of motion in the same exercise. So that'll do it for tonight. Go put that to work, see how those different planes work for you, and I will see you back tomorrow.